Good afternoon. This is Grateful Ed. Hope you're having a good day, a wonderful day. It's the holidays, Thanksgiving. There's a lot to be thankful for. I have a lot to be thankful for, and I think we all do. Just to be alive in the world right now. Say you're unvaxxed. Whatever you have, it's good to, just embrace that and love it. Your family, your friends, your pets, whatever you gravitate to. So critical race theory is Marxist communist ideology. It's being taught through the K through 12 schools, through the universities, through society. They're trying to implement that in the military, and it simply won't be tolerated. There's too many people that have stood up at every level, from the local level to the state to the national, voice their opinions and let them know. Let these school boards know that, you're not going to indoctrinate our children like that. Not in America, not on our watch. Superintendent Cooper, I'm calling you out. You need to contact Project Veritas, America's Principles Project, momsforliberty.org, Heritage Foundation, StopCriticalRaceTheory.com, and tell your story before it's too late. You are simply the plausible deniability for the Mason School Board. Okay, with the holidays, I want to talk about that, but the first thing, I woke up this morning, I want to share this, okay? Because there was a farmer in our community who grew up, and, my uncle taught me that he was done wrong, okay? And I'm gonna say that I was part of that, and I always felt like that was the wrong thing to do, and that somehow, some way, I could make that back, okay, and do what I can to make that right in the community. So I'm very thankful for that this morning. I gotta express that from my heart. The other thing I want to talk about is with the holidays, there was a point in time where I suppressed those. In other words, we had very great holidays growing up in the 60s, okay, with Thanksgiving in our family, right? And my grandmother Blanche cooking, my grandfather, there was warmth and love in the air, okay. Later on, when things are a little rougher, and you don't have that invested, you're in a lot of pain, I suppress those things out. So I didn't feel those emotions. And so, it's, I came to the realization of that the other day, like yesterday, the day before. When you feel that pain, and sometimes I do, but it doesn't last too long, to be quite honest. Okay, I got over it, and not to be cold in a way, but to know that you're grown enough that you got to move on from those things. Okay, if that makes sense, I hope so. Okay. This is how I'm feeling right now, okay? If people have taken advantage of my generosity and misunderstood that, I believe that's the case, okay? And that's the last thing that I ever wanted to do, right? But there comes a point in time when you got to make a stand and say this is enough, all right? And when your back's up against the wall, okay, and failure is not an option, because these are the values that you have from my mother, Gladys Perdue, and also from the Air Force. When I left the hometown, I had to separate myself from. I had to separate myself from that type of behavior, or that I don't want to be in that clique, okay? Because I don't see it in the future. Now, it's evident that, the future's unlimited, right? So nobody can hold us back. Nobody. If anyone, had any jealousy, like as a teenager or something, like in competition, or whatever, not be able to process those emotions. Like one of the neighbors, very angry, violent on me because another lady like me. It's really bad now if you take that analogy that people can get shot, like in the hood, just for talking to a girl. Okay? So, my opinion, please, if you can't process those emotions, then it can really lead to dangerous behavior and how you're channeling that energy about what someone else is doing and not what you have the capability or the desire to do. Just because you think you know somebody doesn't mean absolutely that they don't change and roll with the times. So I wanted to get that out. Okay, I wanted to express that. The other thing that's really important that I gotta talk about, okay, and I think it goes back for a long, long time, like my whole life. As my recollection opens up, and I put the pieces together or try to, what's happened, especially when I was a youngster. Okay. The thing I want to convey is I'm sure there's been a lot of a question about my sexuality. All right. So, how can I say this? It was brought up to me by a TD Wire, right? From Tinker Air Force Base. And, we were going at it, whatever. It was a boisterous time, We had a lot of work done, and we had a good time, too, all right? Maybe a little too much fun. But anyway, he brought it up to me. I thought you're gay. And I laughed at him. The thing about it, is I'm a man, and I'm a Gemini man. So, yes, I have some bi-curious tendencies, being honest. The thing about it is, it wouldn't be in the same context, I think, as people look at me. Like, this person is exactly who they were growing up. And if that makes sense, I'm like, I don't want those misinterpretations or to be misunderstood like that. I'm standing my ground when it comes to these things. I mean, I don't have to go out and try to solicit things or push my agenda on anybody just for a sexual encounter. No, far from it. So I want to convey that to everybody and to make sure that there's no misunderstanding also about what's happening in Colorado. I believe it's a tragedy, okay? Nobody needs to lose their life over these things. I really do believe that there's too much abundance for everybody, and I want to try to take a step back and say, hey, open up our hearts and, be thankful for what we have, not looking at what someone else is doing so much. But I know we get so involved in this pop culture thing, and even me, we're products of that environment, So I hope that makes sense. I hope it's clear because the boundaries won't be crossed. There's no need. So anyway, I wanted to convey that thing about the transsexuals in Colorado. This is a tragedy. Okay, make no mistake about it. Nobody needs to lose their life over their sexuality or sexual identity. I want to talk about Kamala Harris, but I want to talk about, this is the thing about Kamala Harris visiting the Philippines, right? I've never been to Palau, right? From my experience, okay, the fish that were caught, they were not that big and they were not that organized. I know it was a photo op, But my point is on the environment that they've blown up the damn reef so much with dynamite every day. Boom, boom. There's no reef, there's no fish. So when I see that and I see her optics and to be in the Philippines and what a strategic location that is, especially in the South China Sea and the shipping lanes, it's just it doesn't look very real to me. Okay, so anyone with voters' remorse for Kamala, I mean, I understand that. They're non-judgmental. There are other ways we can do things together, I believe. I'm very thankful, okay? I'm thankful for my life every day. I mean, I'm thankful for the things that I do. My guitar and my writing, all these things. The ability to speak and voice our opinion at this time is critical. It's so critical, If you love this country, and I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people were stuck, a lot of people know, hey, these are things that are hard realizations that we got to all come to. And we do it together. We do. I know there's no INT. I'll just say that, because of my situation growing up, I had to learn to rely on myself. Okay? And because I didn't have a father, I always gravitated as God as my father. Okay? And believe in Jesus Christ. I don't know who said it, but, if you bet everything against Christ and lose, you lose your soul. Bet and win, you have eternal life. So, I really do believe that. Tori Morris, she ran for Secretary of State of Ohio. She didn't win, but Frank LaRose, okay, and the GOP rhinos kept her name off the Republican ballot. They tried to take her name off, or her signatures off of the independent ballot. She sued him. She won in Ohio Supreme Court. Okay. She's got a case pending now. I don't know where it's going to end up. The way I understand it is the case is about the people's right in order to inspect those machines, the voting machines. Now, Tori's done extensive reporting on the voting machines and the voter fraud in Ohio as early as 2005. No machines, no ballots, same-day counting, done. Okay? Everybody's involved. Very simple. Her lawsuit is the right for the people to inspect those machines. Now, I reported to our groups that those machines have not been certified. So that would mean the elections are null and void to begin with. That's one point. The other point is the lawsuit is geared straight towards our ability to go in and exercise our right. Those are our machines. We pay for them. We're the government. They're not going to do it unless you take them to court. I truly believe that. So if it goes to the 6th Circuit or if it goes to the Supreme Court, I believe she's going to prevail. Okay. You can check her work at ToriSays.com. There's good stories in there. Reliable source. To be quite honest, from the heart. When I brief Mason City Council and when I brief the Mason School Board, okay, and I reference Tori and I reference General Flynn, I stand by that more than ever today. Okay. I got a lot of downloads, a lot of things, but it's the parrot heads, okay. We are we're the birthplace of the parrot heads. That's us, right? So my thought is that how well are we measuring up? You know, how well do we treat each other? Have I done everything I could? Have we done everything we could? Are we good stewards for the environment? Are we having a good time? This is it. This is life. So, I don't have anything special to say about that. I wish I did. I don't have anything. You know. Oh, yeah, I do. A Diablo Picasso. A Diablo Monet. A Diablo Fontainebleau. A Diablo Hemingway. A Diab Dr. Thompson. A Diab St. Joe. A Diab Village People. A Diab Rolling Stone. Who? That's all I got today, please. It's such a fantastic time, and then it's also a very sad time, but it's something that we just got to embrace and love it. So, President Trump was right about the Trump derangement syndrome. President Trump was right about our freedom of speech. President Trump was right about our First Amendment. President Trump was right about Pizzagate and Comet Pizza. President Trump was right about critical race theory. President Trump was right about Common Core. President Trump was right about the China trade imbalance. President Trump was right about Obama's birth certificate. President Trump was right about Clinton and the witch hunts, okay, the Steele dossier, the Russian disinformation. It's all going to come out, okay? Those are the ones off the top of my head, but the server and also Benghazi are, those things are near and dear to a lot of people's heart. A lot of family members, people who have lost family members on that one. President Trump was right about the Iranian nuclear deal. John Kerry, I think he's at it again. Usual suspects. President Trump was right about the European Union. President Trump was right about NATO. President Trump was right about the border. Now the border is, it's a disaster, okay? And it's a humanitarian crisis on so many fronts. So President Trump fought hard, okay? And we had very good processes and very good. He wouldn't stop until that wall was built because it's that critical, okay? And now that we see that everything is just, to the wayside with this administration, Biden and Harris, and all of their folks, really, because we know why they're in there, quite honest. But I don't know what to say. It's tragedy upon tragedy. They're also overloading with human smuggling, overloading with children, overloading with the drugs, overloading with sex trade workers, I'm sure. So we had it secure. We'll have it secure again, I'm sure. It has to be. We don't have a border. We don't have a country. President Trump was right about the Keystone Pipeline and our energy independence. To me, it's a matter of national security. And, you don't have to go to any other country and ask for anything. President Trump was right about Syria and Iraq. President Trump was right about January 6th. I understand there's a commission to investigate that. That is just fantastic news. And now that the Republicans have the House, lame duck, in the next 2 years, they're not wasting any time. So I think there's really good things to come about that. And President Trump was right about the election. Thank you very much. I want to plug my store on Etsy. It's Doomans. It is under construction right now, but there's a few shirts, military, some of the old designs we're bringing back and making them new again. So God bless you, God bless America, and keep on keeping on. Have a great day.